Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hi, how is everybody doing? And welcome to the Women's Room. This is your weekly podcast, girl, where we chit chat everything that has happened on the internet and we have that conversation with good people who have credibility, child, in the community, people who are what's the word licensed to speak on the goings on of the pop culture world. So that is what we will be doing this morning, as we do every morning at 10 a.m. Here on YouTube and Facebook. I am your host, L. Y'all know me, y'all love me over at Briefed by L. But over here on Women for the Culture, I occupy space. We have these conversations wherein we talk about all of the stuff that you would talk about when you outside, girl, in the women's room, washing your hands, fixing your hair. You know, when you go into the women's room, it's a safe space, right? You go in there, you could do, oh, girl, fix your hair, do lip gloss. Oh, did you hear about? It's a little kiki. So just like it's a kiki in real life, it is a kiki here. As I always tell y'all, some episodes we will have guests who you have seen on TV, who you know from pop culture. Some episodes will be the content creators themselves. Either way, at all times, we will have a good time. Amen. Amen. The rules are normal. Keep it cute or keep it on mute. If you are watching us over on TikTok, hi TikTok, we are live over on Women for the Culture, either on Facebook or on YouTube, however you like to get your information. And today's guest child, the episode is Smile. She's married to medicine. And this ain't cute for the show. Okay. This ain't no fluff. Baby girl is really one of them MRS MDs. If you have been following me for a minute, you saw my episode on my old podcast, Stripped, and I spoke to Audra and Martin together, the Currys, and we had just a nice little talk about love, relationship, business, and how all of those things intertwine. I don't think I've ever told them this directly, but they were my favorite guests. At the end of it, I asked, like, the normal, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, and they answer the question, and then Dr. Curry goes, okay, well, how can we help you? Because y'all know they don't be seeing the content creators. They think that we just do this here for shits and giggles and for fun. I don't know. But I really, really appreciated that. They have been very, very sweet since that time on. We be chit-chatting it up in the DMs. I don't know if y'all follow Audra. She be over there. I think she calls it latte art, but I don't know. Y'all be easy on my girl. She's working on it. I gave her some tips. Y'all know back in the day I used to be a barista. So I gave her a little tips. My latte art ain't never been top tier. I'm not making you no bird or nothing. Okay. I'm giving you a little cute one, two. It's just gonna look like some art. I don't know, abstract, if you will. And I think that's how we can classify Audra's. Before I let Audra up, I want to let you know. I know y'all have probably seen me on live over here with Tamar. We do Tamartian's Got Talent, and we do Tay I Want to Tell It. At Tay I Want to Tell It, you can spill your tea. It has to be your tea, right? And we have heard some good stories, which has made me think, baby, I am opening up the inbox for what the L. Amen. If you have a story, it don't have to be your story. You could have been a part of it. It could have been somebody else's story. But if that story left you feeling like, child, what the hell? I want that story. I'm going to go ahead on and put the email address in the chat. Again, if you are over on TikTok, that email address is LW4TC, as in Women for the Culture. If you have a story that has left you feeling at the end of it or while you was going through it like, child, what the hell? Share it with us. We want to hear it. I want to be able to talk about it. I'm gonna tell y'all my story from Tay. I want to tell it that left me feeling like, what the hell? A lady came up for Tay. I want to tell it. And she said that she had been married to her husband for 7 years. Okay. In the course of that, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She does the chemo. She's getting ready to start the radiation. Okay. Turns up, she at the hospital by herself. Okay. Her husband rides the little motorcycles. It was like bike week or something like that. So cool, not a problem. Afterwards, she gets a phone call from her best friend. Her best friend said, I seen your man and your god sister sneaking around at the hotel. She said, excuse me. Now, this ain't no cute little Instagram. Oh, this my sissy. No, this is her god sister. Know her whole life. The mother is her godmother. She goes over to the house and she pulls up immediately. Hello, hi. Was you messing with my man? Was you messing with my man? And old girl says, the pause let her know what it was, okay? And from there, they have separated, they have dissolved the businesses, all of the things. Child, this story left me like, what the hell? Because what you mean you sleeping with my sister? We don't need the guy in front of it. You sleeping with my sister. Again, if you were here in the chat, I'm going to let key in on TikTok, and then we're going to mute her. Well, she's going to mute herself. We're going to let her in the room, and she's going to mute herself, and she's going to handle y'all over there on TikTok. Without further ado, the one, the only MRSMD, Miss Audra Curry.
Hello.
That's the round of applause. Hi, Fred. How are you? Good morning. Happy Monday. All the things.
Yes. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Monday. Yes. All the above.
All of the above. You are now a mom of 3.
I know.
You didn't have 3 the last time we talked, did you?
No, I didn't. Did I have just 1 and I was pregnant?
No, you had baby doctor.
Okay. So I had 2. Was I pregnant?
I don't think you were pregnant yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Now we've been locked in for a minute, girl.
I know. I'm like, which baby? Which year?
Who was who? Where was they at? Where was they at?
Yeah.
Key, I was gonna say mute your mic so that we don't get the feedback over here on YouTube.
Okay, I got you.
Got you. We got Kiki over there on TikTok. She's holding down the chat. She is going to be directing the people over here to the YouTubes and to the Facebooks. Okay. Amen. Okay. Girl.
So much.
The people want to know, right? I think we've watched, what are we on, 12 seasons of Married to Medicine now?
Yeah.
And albeit very parasocial, I always say the thing with being on reality TV for extended periods of time is we are going to get to know you. Even if it's the version of you that you want us to know, we are going to be able to tell when you're mad, when you're sad, when you're lying, when you gassing, because we've been watching you for 12 years on TV. Mariah released the pilot for Married to Medicine for when it was originally called the Doctor's Wives Club. And Toya was pregnant with the youngest baby.
That's crazy. Yeah. So it shows you how much time has passed.
A lot of time has passed. And it's like, I hate, Toya doesn't say it, but I hate when the reality TV are like, y'all don't know me. We do a little bit. We do just a little bit. And again, albeit very parasocial. We don't know how you handle conflict and all of that, but we do have a general sense of who you are.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was able to come across for you in the one season that you did?
Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. No. I think when I was on the show, I was most surprised by how much gets cut out. Like, obviously, you're filming like 3-4 times a week. They're in your house, they're in your practice, they're in your, like everyday life, they're in your work. And you're filming for like hours at a time, and so there's a lot of context that's missing. And so I think that's why a lot of reality stars say like, you don't know me, is because you really get pigeonholed into a certain, I could show you any way, you know what I mean?
Right,
we can kind of manipulate stories in any way. So that's one thing. And then secondly, that year, I couldn't really commit as much as I wanted to Married to Medicine. I signed, I agreed to be a part of it and everything, but my mom had passed recently at the time that I had agreed to go on the show. And, my family's from Ghana. And so we had to go to Ghana and do our, traditional ceremony and all of that stuff. And then, I missed almost like the first half of the season because of all of that. It was a lot because I went to Anila's event, was like the first group thing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't meet up with the group again until after I got back from Ghana, which was the girls' trip. So it's like, it's a big gap. And you
guys only filmed for like 8 weeks, correct?
Total. At that point, what we started in maybe like September, October. I can't remember. It's been so long. I can't remember. But
You
anyway,
you sound like Auntie Buffy whenever I ask her questions about Married to Medicine. She's like, I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was such a blur. It was such a blur. But like, I just remember they I don't think I was introduced well. So I feel like I just appeared on the girls trip, and there was a lot of things that were filmed in between. So I
Mhm.
feel like they could have shown that to give more context. But yeah, it wasn't shown, and so it was kind of like, who is this random person like on the girls trip?
Your whole season felt like I'll even say the seasons that Anila was there felt like they were trying to cast somebody to be bullied. Like they
Ah,
were looking to fill
yeah,
that like void inside of the character
yeah.
archetype. Because one thing that even before I met you, and I think I told you this last time we podcasted, I really appreciated you coming in and being like, I got on Champion, we about to run to the airport. Like it was regular clothes. And I feel like Married to Medicine is not the Housewives, right? And I
Yeah,
really do hate when like the Bravo world tries to put them in that same box, because
yeah,
what I like from Married to Medicine is the we're just regular girls. I can roll up my sleeves and pick up my own luggage.
yeah.
Whereas Housewives is more like who's getting the bag, who's getting the whatever. So I don't like when the new wives on Married to Medicine come draped down and dripped out in the, especially
Yeah,
because Toya fills the fashion bag. Like
yeah,
we get that from her, and I feel like that is just knowing doctors. I feel like Toya is an archetype of a doctor's wife, you know what I mean, with the looks and putting on the fashion. And then most doctors wives, they're like, child, we are home, we are cooking, you
yes.
come
Like
over, you
there's
have a drink.
yes, and I just feel like, Martin and I's life, we have had so much going on, and it's great things, but it's like that is the beauty of us, and I feel like that could have really been captured in a really good way, just to show like, we're obsessed with each other, we're excited to get married, we're excited to start our family. Like
Hmm.
we were opening the first practice. We're like, Martin was like 2 years out of residency, like he was very new, in the
I
dental
didn't
space.
realize that.
Yes, and so it's like and that's happening with like a lot of my friends, is like we are really starting this life as like new professionals, and the dynamics are changing because I had been practicing for like 5 years or so at the point that Martin and I met, and
Okay.
so I was like the breadwinner. I was like making all the money, and he was in residency when we met, and he was making like
None
nothing.
of the money.
You know what I mean? And so it was like the stages, you know what I mean?
And
And
the building of
there's just
life.
yes, and I think it's a good story to tell, because a lot of people are experiencing that. And so, I think the thing with Married to Medicine is, the ladies, kudos to them, respect to them. They've been on for like years and years, shown a lot of their life. But I think they try to, not the ladies, but the show
Production.
tries to bring in new people um, to kind of support the stories of the ladies that have already been there.
And not tell their own stories.
Correct. And
Yes.
I think that they do a disservice because there are really good stories. Like even like Dr. Alicia's season,
Hmm.
it's like,
I wanted more of that.
yes,
I,
exactly. Like she is gorgeous, first of all. And she like looks like that in person. Like she is, I'm like, you need like Tyra Banks. What's that? Remember that movie Life Size?
life
She is
size,
life
yeah.
size. She is like a doll. And
I love that.
like smart, and then her husband, you know what I mean? And it's like, hello. There's other stories to tell.
There are. I wanted I wanted to see, because I think part of the fandom that surrounds Toya is the fact that again, we watched her make it, right? When we met Toya on Married to Medicine, they were still living on the south side. They had the house. We watched them drive to the north side, find the land. Like they built this story, and there was room, not even just for you, there was room for Buffy, there was room for Dr. Alicia to tell this story of this is what marriage looks like for us,
Yeah.
compounded with the fact that I am a doctor's wife.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I'm not accomplished in my own right, but it does mean that like he's on call and he like it's
Yeah.
his profession that stops us from living what would look like the normal
Yes.
everyday life, you
Yeah.
know? What was your process for getting on to Married to Medicine? How did they find you? What made you say yes? All of
Yeah.
the things.
Okay, so I'll say this. I'm like a skeptic. So they DM'd me and I was just like, this is a scam.
No way.
Yes. I was like, this is a scam, you know. But and I had like 1,000 followers. It's like my friends, my real people that I knew, were following me. So I'm like, like
Why are you here?
why are you here? You know? And so I talked to them in DM. Even in the first phone call, I was like, it's
You
giving
trying to
scam.
manipulate me.
Yes, exactly. But and of course Martin's a dentist. I'm an attorney, been in these professional circles, so like have run into know some of the ladies,
Mhm.
Dr. Jackie's my doctor. And delivered Martin and, Dr. Baby and baby girl. And so yeah, like I did a couple interviews. Even the whole time I was just like, I don't know what this is, but
We're here, I guess.
we're here. It
We're
was a weird time in life. I was like, all right, I'll take the call. Anyway, and so then they like went ghost for a long time. And then they randomly were like, okay, you're gonna start filming in a couple weeks. I was like, whoa, I was not prepared.
I don't think anybody is. When Monique left Housewives of Potomac, right? I think at that time she had done 4 seasons, and she said that she didn't even start making money until her 3rd season
Yeah,
because her 1st season was getting the fashions to be camera ready,
yeah,
getting the TV makeup to be prepared. And then she specifically spoke to, which I thought was very interesting, but the hike in her power bill. Because production
mm,
comes over and they plug up
yeah,
the lights and the everything and the stuff,
yeah.
right? You don't got to tell us how much they paid you. But did you feel like in that one season that there was a good trade-off? Like, did you get exposure to the practice or even just the compensation of money? Was it a fair trade-off for you if you assess it as a business?
Um,
The face tells me everything that I need to.
yeah, I would say no. It's hard to. I'm sorry. I've been an attorney for years. Like this is my 11th year as an attorney, which is crazy. So it's like that. No,
Well, it's never going to make attorney money, but like, was there a return on investment? At least, like, if you spent 1,500, did you make 1,500? Like, did it balance out in that?
oh, like that way. Yeah. I made money.
Well,
I
that's
did
good.
make money. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But it's hard to. I feel like my face is. It's hard
you're like,
to.
I made money.
I made money. Like there were deposits that I received, but it's like the trade-off, right? Because as an attorney, I think of my time as money, right? And so if like the amount of time given, does that equal the amount received? To me, no. However, it was an experience that was like different from the norm.
Mhm.
I feel like at that time, like I said, I was like going through it emotionally with like the loss of my mom and it being so fresh. And then I'm like newly engaged. Like we got engaged just a few days before my mom passed. So it was like it was, yes. And so it was just like so many emotions and I feel like I was just like falling and grasping for things. And somehow Bravo was one of the things that I grasped. So it's like,
This will do. I always
yeah.
think that that's interesting. One of my like 3rd videos to ever go viral on TikTok, I was talking about how Dorit Kemsley from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek with Dave and Eugene Levy, right? And I was comparing the stuff in the character versus what we get from Dorit on television. That character, I don't know if you watched Schitt's Creek, but it was loosely based off of the Kardashians and what
Okay.
that would look like if they lost everything, but also this Australian reality star, Abby Sheffield, CH Sheffield.
Okay.
Um, and one of the things, she found the video or whatever, and we chatted, and she said one of the things that is always so wild to her is that Americans are allowed to raw dog reality TV. Her words, not mine. what she was speaking to is apparently in Australia, you have a psychiatrist when you film reality TV, and
Mm.
then that psychiatrist stays with you for some time after the filming.
Oh, okay.
Right. So then you speak about you just getting engaged, you just getting married. We've had housewives who are actively in the middle. We met Wendy in the middle of postpartum. It
Yeah.
almost feels criminal to shove cameras in y'all's face during that time,
Yes.
because I've been through like traumatic situations. I've loosely told the story before. The thing that drove me to TikTok was I had a friend who tried to scam us when it came to some kid acting situation. So her child was a kid actor, and she was leveraging that to kind of like scam people around her. I remember the day that everything came to a head, I had also gotten a new credit card and I needed to make a password for the app for the login.
Okay.
I do that because like things are happening. I'm on the phone. I grab the mail, and you fidget like while things are just going wild. You're like, I
Yeah.
need something else to focus on. So I'm on the phone, this phone here, the other phone, making the app. Cool. 3 days later, I go to like actually activate the card. Kid you not, I genuinely had no remembrance of even making the password.
See?
When I logged into the app, I looked at my husband. I said, "Did you make the password?" He was like, "Why would I make your password on your phone?" Like,
Yeah.
and there wasn't no camera in my face. I couldn't imagine like
Yes.
bright lights.
Yes. And then I felt like because of all the things that was going on, I didn't have the capacity to care about what other people
Oh no,
were
we saw that when you pulled out that
experiencing.
paperwork. You was
Yeah.
like 1 million.
Yeah. Because I did not have the capacity. Like it was when people who know me know I'm like the sweetest person, right? I get on here, and as soon as I meet some of the people, it was like you're randomly saying things about me. Like, "Oh, you're not a good attorney." I didn't even say hello to you. I don't even know you. Like what you know what I mean?
How
So
did we get here?
how did we get here? I'm so like, where is that coming from and why? And so I was already didn't have the capacity. But then I had, random comments or like energy of like, oh, we're gonna like get you. I felt like I was like trying to get got, you know what I
I'm
mean?
telling you, because it felt like they were looking for a bully, like somebody to bully.
Yes. Yes. And so my guard was so up. Like I felt so on edge. And then I felt so drained after like sometimes when I would see everybody, like after the
Mhm.
filming, I would just be so drained. And then I'm also like emotionally drained. There were so many times where like after the, different scenes, I would just be bawling my eyes out. And it was simply because I was in such a bad mental space
Place.
when it came to, yes, like my mom was a huge figure in my life and like talked to her every single day. And so even like it was triggering seeing Anila and her mom, like every time I would just be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
because and so yeah, it was honestly not the best time to be filming, but it happened. And then it honestly was an even worse time for the show to air because literally the episode where we revealed that we were pregnant, I was in the hospital. I just gave birth that day. That exact day. That exact day. Every one of my green screens, I was pregnant. Every single one of them. And it was so funny because Martin would read the comments. I got to a point where I blocked them. But
Listen, Martin about it. Whatever
yes,
it
he
is, he about
is.
it.
And he laughs. He thinks the stuff is funny. But I guess somebody was like, "Oh, you need to worry about like fitting into that wedding dress." And I was thinking to myself, like, you realize I was like literally 9 months pregnant filming those green screens.
That's the part that I couldn't get. I'm like, we're talking about me?
Yeah, I was like, the wedding's been over, baby. The wedding was a year ago.
Booped and gagged.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done it. This is a
Yeah.
two-part question. Number one, would you do it again now
Mhm.
that things have cleared up a little bit in your life? And then, like, I'm so intrigued because I feel like it just needs to be captured on television, right? the whole idea between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott buying the building. For those of you who don't know, here, Audra was the attorney, the real estate attorney for them purchasing their building. I saw on Instagram, as I follow you, I follow Dr. Contessa, who has always been very sweet. I remember the day Contessa posted the video getting out of the Sprinter.
Yes.
Like, oh, we just post, or we just did this, and it was just like a little Instagram reel. I think Instagram still had IGTV at the time, and I remember seeing it then, like, fuck, like we need Audra on television. But so much more this season, seeing the Scotts in their office, in their like Greek lettered scrubs, like just all of this Black excellence. So like I feel like we as the viewers deserve to see that. So would you do it again? And then can you walk us through very quickly the process of helping the Scotts secure that property?
Okay, so the first question, would I do it again?
Look.
A hard question. Because it's like, would I do it again? Yes. Question mark. And because I still think it is like very much so the OG's show.
It is.
That is supported by new people. So I don't know. Like, would it be worth my time and energy? Because what's going to be shown of my life and story? Because my story is bigger than other people's story. You see what I'm saying?
Get into it.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And it's not even a brag. It's just honestly, like, I don't think that makes sense. I can share a platform with people, but I don't understand the concept of like being a
supporting cast member.
That's just kind of like, no. Okay, so that's the answer to that. And then,
so yes, if we restructured the show, let me get on the phone with the producer.
Not restructure. I don't even think restructure it, because I think it's great as is. It's obviously lasted this long with these same people. So I'm not a person that's like, oh, get rid of this person. I really don't think so. I think it all works. And it, the time has shown that. Mm-hmm. I just think if you're going to bring new people, you need to leave space for them. Like, am I gonna, invite, I don't know, 50 people into a studio apartment? No. But I will have, 6
Would it be great for 2 or 3?
Yeah, exactly. It just don't make sense.
I get that.
But on the other end, I've been a practicing attorney for 11 years. Real estate is the only type of law I've ever practiced. Okay. So commercial and residential. And we love Contessa and Scott. Like, we love them. And so Contessa told me that she was like looking for a building. She thought she found one. And she's like, can you help me on this deal? She wanted it to be like Black excellence from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
And she knows, like, I'm very hands-on, very like caring person. I really care about my practice. Although I'm like, big personality. When it comes to work, I'm like very meticulous.
Yes.
So, I really walked her through the whole process. I mean, from the point that she found the building, went through that contract, like tore it up, was working with opposing counsel on things. And when we got to the closing table, it was such a fulfilling, just happy day. I think the reason I practice real estate is because it's like happy law. Because most of the time that people are at the table, like, it's for a good reason. You're buying your first house, or you're like buying, your first medical space or something.
Right. It's additional property, all of that.
Yes, it's usually this. There are some sad situations, but it's usually a very happy occasion. And so I love to be a part of that. And it was like I always like set the vibe anyway. Like, I'll bring you champagne. We got the camera. We're just really making this a thing because it's your day. It's your day. It's your money. It's your day. And so, she pulled up in the Sprinter. She got out, her and Scott. They looked so good. They were so happy. We were drinking champagne. It was really beautiful. They brought photos of like deceased family members that they, from their past to had their picture frames like all on the table, just so you can feel a part of this. This is like, I'm sure those people would have never imagined that, like,
Right. Like
they're
we are living in our ancestors' wildest dreams.
literally. And so that was so beautiful to see. And honey, they bought it cash, so the closing was about 10 minutes long.
When they said they bought it cash, I said
Yeah,
the bag is different.
the bag is different,
The
and the
bag
bag
is
is
different.
legit. The
A,
bag is legit
a
because we do
cash
not
building in
close.
Atlanta,
Yeah,
inside of the city limits, like,
yeah,
and I know people, we make a lot of jokes. It's not Atlanta. It's being inside of the city limits of Atlanta is a real thing. That is
it is.
just how them ladies talk about Potomac proper.
Yeah,
There is an Atlanta proper. Some of y'all is
yes,
Atlanta adjacent, and I need y'all to get with
yes,
it.
it is legit. And I think people forget too, like, Married to Medicine, people are like actual doctors. So like,
Professionals.
beyond the show and the money that you get from the show, everybody's working. Like, so it is what it is. Anywho, so that wire came through real quick, and we signed those documents literally in like 10 minutes. And most of the closing was honestly just like talking about how big and huge this was and how amazing it is to even just be a part of it. Like, I was so honored to just be able to sit there and be able to work with them through the closing and like explaining things to them, helping them with this huge venture. Like this,
It
I
was
loved it.
big, and it gave me, again, I don't know if you watch Atlanta on a regular, but one season when Portia, her grandfather is Hosea Williams and all of that, but they did an episode where she walked the cameras and whoever she was with through the whole process of them donating food and what that
Yeah,
looks like and how they have to run and structure on just a regular Tuesday, something that's not Thanksgiving, right? And
yeah,
when Dr. Contessa was walking us through the building this season, I felt that energy of like, this should be
yes,
something that her grandkids are like walking through. Like, these are the medical facilities. My grandparents created this and da da da. Like that
yes,
rooted just Black energy of like, we are here and you
yes,
cannot deny our story and you
yes,
cannot deny our medical needs, right?
yeah.
You have to see us like that. That's what that building felt like.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
Even when she announced it, was just like, no, we're here. We're not going to be
Yeah.
ignored.
And I think, in this world, especially with like social media and all of that, we get information very quickly.
Hmm.
And we see things and we're like, okay, and we move on to the next. And like we're so used to seeing like luxury and like these extravagant things, and we don't really take a second to pause and be like, wow, wait. That is actually a big deal. Like this is not just like a storyline on a show. This isn't like, I don't know, just like something little cute. No, this is like she has roots in Atlanta,
Yes.
like a whole medical building. Like that is not
An easy
normal,
feat.
and it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
And it should be celebrated. Well, Dr. Contessa, I sent my emails over to the people. Y'all's rep Tony at NBCU. Hi, Tony girl. Approve the interview. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Shout out to Contessa and Scott.
If you guys are watching, we are at the 30-minute mark. Y'all know we normally get into the personals and the background story for the first 30 minutes, and then we get into the mess. The thing that has been taking over my brain, right? On the internet, my brain is like half Cardi, Jessie Woo, and the other half is Donnie McClurkin. I want to get into all of that. I just want to say, y'all know that I be doing the political briefs and the everythings. And I'm really at a point when it comes to real news and politics where I don't know what y'all want me to say.
Hmm.
I lended my whole platform to the election. We did a podcast informing the audience and the viewers about just breaking down Kamala Harris's platform versus Donald Trump. Again, I did videos on technocracy. I've did videos on Project 2025. If y'all don't read and exercise your right to vote, like I don't know what else to say, which is why I'm really not getting into the ice of it all. We have historical references of what it looks like when people who were put in places of authority are allowed to come into your cities, come into your towns, come into your boroughs, come into your streets and kill you. Unalive, excuse me for TikTok. Again, if them references and what has happened in the past doesn't make you mad and put you towards action today, I just feel like there's nothing that I can say on a TikTok, on a podcast that's going to change that. So that's where we are. For those of you who are like, we need some political commentary, the commentary is vote. The commentary is like, there's 150 elections or so happening this year in 2026. Local elections matter. All of that. My voice doesn't matter. Okay. I know Bowen Yang and that other man going to get up here and tell you not to donate money to Jasmine Crockett's campaign. That is just wild to me, having no knowledge on who she's running against or none of that. So y'all, please do your homework, study your candidates. If you live in a state where you have an election, know what's on the ballot. Go to the ballot, cast your vote, exercise that right? The chairman of the Federal Reserve came out this weekend and essentially said, Trump not trying to go nowhere. So y'all gonna have to handle your handle. There is my political commentary. Clip it, do what you need to do with it. Read a fucking book. Just, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. When it comes to Donnie, are you caught up on the lawsuit?
I am not. I briefly read a headline. I'm not all the way caught up. No.
Look, don't worry. That's what I'm here for, girl.
Okay.
Okay. So for Audra and all of the people who don't know, recently we have gotten a lawsuit, and again, this is a civil lawsuit. It is not a criminal lawsuit. Okay. We are getting these actions happened round about 2020 or 2001, through like 2004. And a lot of the questions that people have been asking online is why now? Why now? There were some things that happened in the Me Too space that allowed the statute of limitations to be extended. Because of that extension, this person was now able to file this lawsuit. So that's the why now piece of it. Okay. So this gentleman says that he was essayed in his childhood by family members. He had a story that was very similar to Donnie McClurkin's. Okay. He gets invited to this church through a friend, and on the pulpit and in his book, Donnie talks about how he was delivered from homosexuality through prayer, whatever the case may be. And that person in church was looking for something, and they didn't want to be convicted with the spirit of homosexuality. I put quotes on that because that's a wild sentence.
Yeah.
I truly believe, and listen, I don't have no heaven or hell to put nobody in, but y'all love who y'all need to love. Who you let in your hearts and your parts is just that. As long as there ain't no children, there ain't no kids, hell don't got no problem. Do you? Comes to church, feels this connection. Okay, cool. He's introduced to Donnie after the service. It was instant energy, whatever. Long story short, this gentleman ends up working for Donnie as his assistant, and he is now a mentee to Donnie. Okay. They go on a work trip. On this work trip, Donnie takes advantage of him. This is according to the lawsuit. Everything is alleged here. I'm telling this gentleman's side of the story.
Okay.
Donnie takes advantage of him. He addresses it the next day, and Donnie says, allegedly, I was on medication. I don't know what you're talking about. Like almost like an Ambien sleepwalk type situation. Like, I don't remember. From there, it turns into gaslighting and all of this. Now, this assistant did stay in the position of the role for about 4 years after that, with acknowledgement of continued taking advantages because we're on the internet. I've seen a lot of comments, and when I have this conversation in real life, people ask, why didn't he leave? And I just want to remind people that, like, that's just not how abuse works.
Literally.
On any scale. And how lovely would it be if it did? If every single person had the ability to be like, oh, you're gaslighting me, I'm out. That's not how it works, right? And then you have to, which the lawsuit didn't speak to, but you have to remember, this person is like at the height of Donnie's career where they come in. Donnie was on Oprah's favorite things list in 07, 01. or 9701 is when this started to happen. So we are just at like the apex of the being in the circles with the TD Jakes and all of this. So I had to also imagine that like proximity and access, and like there were carrots being dangled. So
Yeah.
you could say whatever you want. I can't say like, oh, he should have left. Okay. After he did decide to leave, because he said that Donnie would like take advantage of him in the church office and then go in the pulpit, and then he would be in the congregation crying because of what just happened to him, and then Donnie would use him as an example. Look at this person's praise. Y'all need to be able to get in the spirit. Whole time, allegedly, you know why I'm crying, and you know it don't have nothing to do with Jesus. So he gets the gusto. He leaves. Apparently, after he leaves, he goes through his email and he finds an email from Donnie where Donnie allegedly is apologizing. So now we have it in writing.
Oh.
And going forward, I want all of y'all to stop doing crimes on the email.
Yeah. Or don't. Continue to do it. So then, maybe victims will be believed more.
Maybe, but like, hello,
Wow.
Wendy and Eddie. Like, why are we emailing about it? Like, what? You see these people every day. This person is your assistant. Why you can't go up to your assistant and just say it? Why are you typing it?
Uh-huh.
So apparently it's typed out and the statute of limitations have opened, and this is where we are. But this has led to a whole internet conversation within like the gospel community. Yolanda Adams has come out about this idea of you can't be delivered from homosexuality, and to preach it and to tout it as if you can is disingenuous as the preacher, but also dangerous to the people receiving the message.
Yeah.
Yolanda Adams, she spoke on a podcast and she said, and I love this because especially when it comes to church, people like to cherry pick. If you believe that we are all made in God's likeness and image, and if you believe that every living creature on this earth is here because God created them, then the same applies to a homosexual.
Right. Agreed.
How'd they get here? Who made them? So again, we have no heaven nor hell to put these people in.
Yeah.
Who are we to turn them away from church or to turn them away from a community event?
Yeah.
Because they like to do something in the bedroom that you don't like to do.
Right.
That is so crazy to me. I guess my question for you in it is, what are your takes on celebrity churches?
Celebrity churches or like celebrity pastors?
Both of them. Whatever you feel like answering.
Oh boy.
Because you in Atlanta. And
I am in Atlanta.
I know.
Man, some of the churches, it's like, am I at a Beyonce concert or am I at church? I will say, for me in my household, we are believers of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And we're followers of Jesus Christ. And so we focus a lot on the relationship. And I feel like that is the safest thing to do, at least for us. Because I think a lot of times, it does get dicey when it comes to celebrity pastors, because sometimes I'm like, are you looking for a viral moment to bring eyes to you? Or are you looking for a viral moment to bring eyes on the Lord? Because that's two different things.
Amen.
Right? And if you're having a viral moment to bring more eyes to Christianity and like new ways of looking at Christianity, like, some pastors, it's like, okay, I'm dressing in current trends. Like, I'm not the old pastor from, back in the day where he got, Steve Harvey suit. So it's like, where it's two different things.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think it just gets really dicey, and I don't think it's really good to idolize people. And so I just keep my eyes on the Lord. And that's what we do.
I like a church where the teaching of the word is the focus, right? Like,
yes.
And
what I'm here for.
Listen, we all grew up in church. I come from a Baptist Kojic background, so and God said,
yes,
like that. Some of that you just need it in the moment.
Yes.
Right? Like that has its own space. But every Sunday, I don't need you to get up there and tell me a story. When I was younger, my mom said to me, get the groceries from the car. I don't.
Now I kind of like that a little bit.
He said, get up.
Yes.
You got to get that spirit of laziness off of you. But
Uh-huh.
I also need you to teach me, right? How am I
Yes.
supposed to apply these principles and teachings of the New Testament? Clock that, because we're not living in the times of the Old Testament. The Bible said that. I cannot go into Bible study right now, y'all. Gonna have to learn something on your own. But how am I supposed to take these principles from the New Testament and apply
Yeah.
them to my life here in 2026?
Correct.
Right? Like I need that. I went to a non-denominational mega church in Atlanta, which is not a mega church anymore. Because
Uh-huh.
the pastor was pastoring. We was having mortgage burning ceremonies, only to find out after they got evicted, y'all was renting.
Oh,
How'd
wow.
you pay off the mortgage if y'all were
Wow.
renting? Whole family drove the same C-class of Benzes in different colors, like mega church. Pastor walked around with security and he would walk around, excuse me, pastor's coming, and the security would be lined up like that, and the pastor would be walking and you couldn't touch the pastor.
Okay.
The church was a campus though. The church had a bookstore in it. And when I say Ella English from the Jamie Foxx show, her sister Daisy English was our leader of praise and worship.
Wow.
Some of them sung background for like big gospel singers. Big
Yeah.
gospel singers would come. We would have like gospel concerts at the church. The mayor of Atlanta was there. What's the girl from Girlfriends in the early season? She was engaged to William. I think they even was going to get married, but she was the police officer.
Ooh.
Kind of heavier set brown skin girl. But she went there. It was a lot of like television people and
Yes.
stuff inside of the church. And so he would do the situation where he would do like the offerings. And this aisle would be a $10,000 offering. This aisle would be 5,000. That aisle would be 1,000. And they would come up and he would lay hands and pray for them. But if you gave less than 1,000, and you would just put your money in a bucket.
See, what are we doing?
That type of church. However, right, because the broke clock is right at least twice a day.
Yeah.
He would always, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. He would always start his sermons off by saying, Lord, I'm here to be a vessel. So anything that comes out of my mouth that you don't want to be delivered, like remove me, more of you, less of me. And that's always how he started his sermons. And I resonated with that so much because sometimes, especially in Atlanta, sometimes those pastors get on the pulpit and they forget the job. For Jamal Bryant to get on stage defending your wife, okay, cool.
Yeah.
To then open up your mouth and say, oh, well, the backing behind the dress was flesh colored, but some of y'all wouldn't know that because you ain't never been nowhere, never had nothing in your life.
I didn't see that clip. Oh.
Pastor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is indicative of the pulpit in what way? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to be able to have conversations and show up for our spouses and still be Christ-like.
Right.
In the reading
Yeah.
of it all. Moving on. Cardi B, first of all, before we even get into the Jessie Woo Cardi B of it all, Cardi B just came to the internet to say that she was over budget on her tour. And this nail tech, if y'all follow me on Threads, same name, Brief by L, I will repost the nail tech's information. But she posted and basically was like, girl, I will do your nails for the tour free of charge. You don't have to add it to the budget. Like, you're Cardi B, you need the nails, you need my service. And everybody in the threads was like, I want this level of like sisterhood to find me, to all of that. What are some of your, because we get the mess and we get the everything, what were some of your favorite moments of just like genuine sisterhood, whether it be off camera or on camera, when you were filming, if any? Because you did say you was going through a lot, but when you were filming Married to Medicine.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad when I was filming. There was a lot of sisterhood moments. I would say Quad and I, like, honestly, after we would film and stuff, we would be talking for like 4 or 5 hours, just chilling, hanging out. We had a lot of sisterly moments, a lot of talks about like marriage, relationships, what to expect. Like, you know, in her past, she like supported the building of her ex's practice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I was doing the same thing at the time, and so a lot of things about that. Heavenly gave me a lot of advice about birth. Yes, because I wanted to,
Wait a
I had
minute.
a
The
C-section.
dentist gave
Yes,
you, not that
yes.
you can't, but I would expect you to say she gave you a lot of advice about like the practice and all of that. No, birth.
We talked a lot about birth because I had a C-section with my oldest, and
Okay.
I was determined to push my other kids out the
Out.
vag.
Okay.
And so I just had so many questions about, like, what does that feel like? Like, am I gonna be torn apart? And so
From the rooter to the tutor.
I huh?
I said from the rooter to the tutor, you will be.
Literally. And so I just remember, like, she gave me so many pieces of advice, but the one thing she said, which like is true, she's like, imagine you're like at the store, and like you got to, can we swear? Well, you gotta
Yes.
really, okay, you gotta go really, really bad. And you're just walking around the store, you're looking for this bathroom, then you're in the bathroom and there's a long line, and then you finally get to the bathroom and you go. She's
Mm,
like, that is what birth feels like. She's like, it is the best relief.
ever. Ev- Ever. I
Yeah.
was like, the second it was like it was like you knew. They were like, she's out. And I was like, girl, I could feel. Like it was like,
Yes. I'm like, oh God. Thank you, Jesus.
like, cause how long was we gonna do this?
Exactly. Yes, it was a great relief. Yes. So that was good advice. It was just, honestly, the ladies are very supportive in general.
Mhm.
Um Definitely when it came to relationships, because a lot of them have been married for like several years, and I was going into a marriage. And so just a lot of advice on, like, supporting your spouse, supporting your family, like balancing everything, because as a woman, you're like the core, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely a lot of those moments.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I like is okay, he's done with residency. We done got a practice and now we are expanding. We are opening it. And y'all know I don't, for those of you who don't know, and I told the Currys this, when I originally started college, I was going to be a dentist. Because I fell down the steps when I was a kid. I've had the dental trauma, everything, right? Braces, all of that. And it never in my brain, I was helping people like me. People who
Yeah.
fell down the steps. So I guess that would be some sort of like dental surgery, if you
Yeah.
will. But I never thought when I was like, I'm going to school to be a dentist, I didn't think about no halitosis. I didn't think about no cavities. I didn't think about no abscess, no infections, none of the
Yeah.
like yuck stuff.
Yeah.
I said,
Like, it's a hell no for me.
who
Yeah.
this for?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
It's gonna be a no for me, big dog.
Yeah.
And we switched over to political science because
Period.
you gonna have to get somebody else to do that. So
Period.
always my hat always goes off to the dentist, to the people taking care of. Tell the people about the practice, where they can find it, get their appointments, do the wifely 1 2.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we are expanding our practice. So Martin and I are very practical people. So when we started the practice, it was like a boutique experience where, like, he is very hands-on. I got dentists my whole life, and like I can't even tell you anything about them, or like I
Mhm.
have not had conversations with them. And so Martin is a very hands-on dentist. And so it's like a concierge service. So you walk in, you get, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever. You just feel comfortable, right? Because most people are scared of the dentist, and like Martin is not scary. So it's a very calm vibe. And so it was boutique, but now, our patient load has grown. Thank God. Thank you all for
Mhm.
supporting. And so
Amen.
we are growing naturally to support the patients. And so that's what we're doing right now. The practice is like completely gutted right now. We've acquired more additional space. And yeah, we should be done by the end of January. So the books will reopen in February, but we are in College Park. We're right across from the airport, right across from the I almost called it the metro, the MARTA stop, right at the airport. So very easy to get to. I don't know if you know, like Nobu or Virgil's, all of
Mhm.
that, just right there on Main Street. He has a huge mural of his face, the Black Dentist. That's him.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's just self-named. So it's Dr. Martin Curry Dentistry. So you can call the appointment line, you can hit us up via DM. Either way, we will get you in and get you service. Martin likes to play R&B and old school, so it's like you'll feel so relaxed. And in my unbiased, very biased opinion, he is the best dentist. So
I love that. We love a friendly, kind, gentle dentist. Me,
yes,
because of my dental trauma, I'm going to need a volume before the appointment. I'm going to need the gas.
hey,
I
I'm
actually
all with it.
I have an appointment coming up on the 14th. This lady not doing nothing, but she's doing a good old, just deep clean.
Yeah,
And I was like, who finna be awake for that?
yeah,
She was like, no, we're just cleaning. I said, no, what you don't understand is I can't hear you scrape my teeth.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
but I'm realizing that like I'm like that in all facets. So even my daughter tore me not from the top to the bottom, but sideways. She so disengaged. She came out with her hand on her cheek. She came out just like this.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm sorry, did we interrupt you? Were you
Right.
bored? Like, we're just why would you come out like that? Anyway, so she tore me this way. Epidural's happening, the doctor is sewing me up. And just simply because I can see her, every time she went out, I couldn't feel nothing. Epidural was still in. And I was jumping, and to the point where my doctor said, stop looking at me.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I'm coming with my Air Maxes. They got to be on. I'm closing out the sound.
Yeah.
I can't.
We got you, girl. I get it. And fun fact, Martin's actually scared of the dentist, even though he is a dentist. And so he really makes the experience like how he would want, because he is nervous. And we do it all too. He's a general dentist, but he's about to be launching veneers.
Okay.
But he does Invisalign, he does, root canal, whatever. He does it all. He's got oral surgery.
Go and get him to the point where he ain't going to be wanting to do that general no more.
Yes, exactly.
You ain't got to wait for insurance with that. That's a cosmetic procedure, so you pay in full.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So he's broadening his thing because we're listening to the patients and what people want and need. And so, yeah.
And Atlanta needs somebody who knows how to do veneers.
Please. Because why are we going to basements? Why are you in a storage closet?
What?
Getting your teeth done.
Somebody's basement for veneers, for braces, for any sort of procedure that people have to go get degrees for.
Yes. And it's not even just about like the look. Like you when you realize how much your mouth affects the rest of your body, it's quite frightening.
Or when you just like, for me, I always thought going to somebody to get veneers was wild. That was top of the bar. When that girl came out talking about she do braces, I said, y'all are dumb. And that's the issue.
And they get patience. They get people. So
the internet is like being in class, like being in school during bell change, and all the classes are in the hallway.
Yes.
There's no separation. There's no AP. There's no kids with the IEP. You go over here. We all in here.
Correct.
Together. And everybody gets to have a microphone. Braces, and y'all, you were moving bones. That is the point of braces. We are not just like closing the gap. It looks cute. We're shifting bones and teeth. Like, you have to have a knowledge of anatomy and oral care in order to do something like that. Don't go to that people's house and let them just glue no braces on you. Don't go to. Back in the day, they used to be like hair shops and stuff, and then they would invite dentists to come out and like do teeth whitening. Why are you in a hair salon with your teeth open?
Hair salon, come on.
With the blue light and your what?
Yes. This is your health. This is your actual, like, you only get one body.
That's it.
Let's do right by it.
Miss Audra, anytime you want to come back, if you see something happening, you like, I need to talk about it, call me. Okay.
I would love to. I love this. I love, I'm entering this era of like, I'm 35. I'm 35, honey. And I'm just like, Mama 3, let me just like relax and like pamper myself for a second, do things on my time, reclaim my time a little bit.
Amen.
Do my latte art, and that's it. So
that's it. So I
would love to come back.
Soft and simple. is all that I really have for y'all in
Correct.
2026. I don't have no hard work in me. I'm at the
It's too
point now,
much.
I go to the grocery store with my husband and I point at the things that I need. He picks them up off of the shelf. He puts
I
them.
love that.
If I have to go home and cook, because these people don't never come with no options for dinner. It's just I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
It's
just, what do you
true.
want? I don't know.
But
That's
you
not
know
a meal.
what? TikTok. I posted this yesterday
TikTok, did
or
you
the
hold
other
them?
day. The TikTok people, thank you so much for posting these recipes because the way I look at my fridge and I'll be like, okay, we got ground beef. What do I do with this? And they got recipes on recipe. Props to y'all for posting these recipes. And they're quick. Like I could make a 15-minute dinner.
Do you know Courtney on TikTok?
I don't think so.
The white lady who be eating the onion cups and stuff?
What?
Girl, let me tell you, I'm gonna send you her page.
Okay. Okay.
My sis gets the soup dumplings, Trader Joe's, the grocery store,
Yeah.
whatever. You could order them from someplace. However, you're gonna take that, you're gonna cut an onion, or peel the few top layers of thick. You're gonna get one of them onion cups, you're gonna sit that soup dumpling inside of it. Okay. Yes. Me, I like a little soy sauce. So I put them when they're in the thing. I do a little
Okay.
soy sauce, a little Worcestershire sauce, your
Okay.
Japanese mayo, a little sweet and hot jalapenos if you have them. Courtney don't put a cucumber on this. I'm telling you, a cucumber will change it.
Okay.
You put all of that in a little onion cup. Eat it.
Really? Okay, that'll be next on my list. Because I'm trying things. I'm trying things I've never tried before.
Girl, I couldn't even sit
Oh,
down. I
man.
was in the kitchen eating like this. I was just feeding them. It was no gas, no funny. It was so good. And
Okay.
she has a bunch of little. You haven't seen the sweet potato with the cheese? The people on the internet going crazy over the sweet potato with the cheese?
No.
Girl, yes, you bake the sweet potato. I forget
made
what
sweet
type of
potato
cheese
yesterday.
she uses, but she takes it. You take the cheese and the hot sweet potato, and you just stuff it in the middle,
Okay.
and you eat it.
Okay.
I like me a good stuffed baked potato already,
Me too.
sweet potato. So I knew that it was going to be good. But she's got a bunch of cute little
Send me her stuff.
I
Send me.
will. Because
Yeah.
look, for lunch, we're
I
going
know.
to be eating them.
Exactly.
Those soup
Exactly.
dumplings is going in. Y'all, thank you guys for watching. If you were here on TikTok, if you were here on Facebook, if you were here on YouTube, could have been anywhere on the internet, but you was here chatting with us, and we appreciate that. If you weren't here chatting with us live and you were now watching this because you're part of the replay crew, hey boo, we need you. You are appreciated. Now that you're done watching, take this, share it, send it with somebody. Okay, we're gonna clip it up. It'll be out. But in the meantime, in between time, share it with somebody, invite them to the women's room. We will be back next Monday morning with the one and the only Jasmine Burke. If you were saying to yourself, who's Jasmine Burke? Girl, June from Beyond the Gates. That is the mother to Samantha and Tyrell. Okay. So come over here because we are going to be chatting all things Beyond the Gates, her new projects, and as always, things happening on the interwebs, right? So we love you. We thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.